Are you a wannabe? Because when you use that language that you want to be this and you want to do that and you just want. First of all, the wanting is a word of lack. It means that you're not already in it. And that's okay too. This is not a beat up session, but I want you to really be intentional with your language. I want you to think about what you are actually telling yourself and what are you telling the cosmos, because that's what's being projected to your whole experience. But let me not put the cart in front of the horse here, okay? Are you a wannabe? Are you a wannabe speaker? Are you a wannabe leader in your industry, whatever industry you're working in as a business owner or an entrepreneur? Are you a wannabe business owner? Are you a wannabe entrepreneur? I want to be an entrepreneur. I want to be a business owner. I want to start my own business. I want to. Let's talk about how do we go from wanting to be to being in it. Okay. And Saturn, oh, it's so wow. Okay, Saturn just slapped me like, wow, yes, I'm here. I felt like Saturn was like, and bitch, I'm back. Why am I saying that? Because tomorrow, is it tomorrow? On the 4th. On the 4th, Saturn goes direct. Saturn is that, let me see, energy. I talk about this all the time. If you're already into astrology, then you know that and you understand that, right? That Saturn is this, yeah, Saturn, I always imagine Saturn sitting somewhere listening to you talk about how, especially Saturn and Pisces, oh my God, sitting there, you just daydreaming, and Neptune is there too. They ain't too far from each other. And you just got this big old illusion about, well, oh, I just want to be this and I just want to be that. And Saturn just looking at you like, okay, and nobody cares. This is Saturn, okay? Nobody cares about what you want to be, what you want to do. Saturn is going to keep asking you, what are you doing right now? What are you physically actually doing? And so Saturn is going direct. So maybe that's why I had this energy shift in talking about, are you a wannabe? It's also because now that I've stepped into this space of coaching public speakers, because I'm a public speaker myself, right? And I've stepped into this space of coaching public speakers, I'm seeing this a lot, right? I'm seeing this, I want to be. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. But if you're listening to this right now, I want you to write in the comments, how long have you been in this wannabe energy? And I'm not just talking about being a speaker. I'm talking about anything. Anything that you've been saying that you want to be or you want to do for years. Are you vulnerable enough and transparent enough to admit in this moment that you are stuck in the wannabe stage? Are you vulnerable, transparent enough, self-realized enough to admit that you're a wannabe? You don't have to say it out loud. You don't have to write it on a post. But in order for you to get to the next level, first you got to admit what you're doing right now. You absolutely cannot go to a next level until you become self-aware enough to realize where you are today. Okay? So are you a wannabe? So in these next, hopefully no more than 10, 15 minutes, which I need to watch the time, because I swear I be saying I'll be away for 15 minutes. The next freaking hour go by. God, that's that Jupiter and Gemini. I just talk too much, like big talk. Okay. So in the next 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes or so, I'm ready to give you the secret sauce to going from a wannabe to an I am. A wannabe to an I am. That's my sole purpose. That's what I'm here to do. I'm an Aries. I'm a sun sign Aries. Your sun sign got a lot to do with, let me just say could, have a lot to do with your possible career, because that's where you shine at, right? So my career would have to do with me understanding my own I am and also helping other people understand their I am, because I am is the mantra for Aries. So I'm getting ready to give you 3 things that'll hopefully shift your mindset from, and I'm not saying it's going to be immediately, but shift your mindset from wanna be to I am. Let's go. And I'm going to check y'all comments after I get off here, okay? So don't think that I'm ignoring anybody. Step 1 is you have to, this is going to sound crazy, but you have to stop wanting to be. You have to stop wanting to be. And you have to choose. And I know that it sounds so elementary when we say it out loud, but a lot of things that are simple are not easy, right? Just because it's simple to intellectualize it and say it and pound on your chest and make cute quotes about it on Instagram doesn't mean that it's easy to actually apply, right? So when I say, stop wanting to be, what I mean is that you have to choose, either you are or you're not. So you have to choose. When you're saying that I want to be a speaker, I want to be an entrepreneur, I want to be self-employed, which I don't prefer to use that language, self-employed, but whatever. I have my reasons for that. If you're saying that you want to be these things, stop saying that. Every time you catch yourself saying that you want to be something, I want you to ask yourself, am I want to be? And I want you to ask yourself, am I or am I not doing this? Am I a speaker or am I not a speaker? Now, how do you actually move in that energy? Now, I'm specifically talking to the people that are making a proclaim that they want to be a speaker. They want to be on the stage. They want to share their message with the world. They want to help other people through their transformational story. You want to know how you stop being a wannabe. You turn on the camera and you start talking. You do it. I know it sounds crazy coming out of my mouth that I feel like I have to say this. But yes, to stop being a wannabe, you actually be. You actually do. You actually step in the I am. See, a lot of y'all are thinking that, well, you're not really a speaker until you're actually on a physical stage, that you're not a speaker until somebody invites you, until somebody say, hey, come to my event. Bullshit. You're a speaker as soon as you turn on that phone and hit the record button. As soon as you make a TikTok, a reel, or Instagram. And I'm not talking about the kind where you just looking in the camera, looking cute, putting your lip gloss on, and you got some, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about sharing something that's valuable with the world, that is life-changing, impacting. That's what I'm talking about. Not saying that it's not valuable for you to be cute on camera, because hey, lifestyle stuff actually is good content. You could do that and actually put some words on top of the video. I do it all the time. But we ain't come here to learn how to make content, even though I do teach that in my mentorship program. We came here to talk about, are you a wannabe or not? And your first step for going from wannabe to you actually are is you actually doing the thing that you're saying that you want to be. Now, specifically when it comes to speaking, this is the easiest way. This is easy to me. To me, I do know that some people have a fear of speaking. They have a lot of anxiety around speaking, especially in front of in a public setting. Okay, I get that. But for the people who don't have that, listen, if you got enough courage to turn that camera on and dance in front of it and put your makeup on and be cute. This is mainly women that's doing this, of course. If you got enough courage to do that, then help me understand, and this is a real question. If you are listening to this right now and you're like, well, yeah, I could do that, Kamisha, but when it comes to actually talking and speaking, that's where help me understand the disconnect between you having the courage to do that and you actually speaking and sharing something of value with the world. Please help me understand how you have the courage to do one but not the other. And this is a sincere question. I'm not being facetious. I'm not being condescending or any of those type of words. I really want to this for, let's say it's for market research purposes, because I just kicked off my Patreon group, which plug, let me do the little commercial break real quick. I just kicked off my Patreon group yesterday, and my Patreon group is the top level is about getting over your fear of speaking and using astrology and Akashic records to be able to do that. That's the top level. I call it the elite level. But on the other levels, you will get a public speaking coaching every month. And you will get more, you will just get content from me that all has to do with not only just being a speaker, but just an entrepreneur, because you need to learn how to be an entrepreneur before you become the speaker. Well, let me not say it. No, you can do them simultaneously, but the stages, I want you to imagine that you're like building something. You're building yourself. That's what you're really doing, right? But you laying brick by brick by brick, and we're not going to separate you being an entrepreneur from you being a speaker, because baby, they in the same bucket. Okay, you being a speaker, a teacher, a coach, a mentor, you doing virtual events, all of that stuff is still in the same bucket, right? So in my Patreon group, there's levels to it. Okay, now that's what you will go through before you actually come into the mentorship program, unless you just want to jump straight into the mentorship program. But I'm learning not to just let everybody come in there. They need to be primed before they come in there so that I can make sure that they're really ready to do the work. But anyway, join my Patreon program. join my Patreon group. Another reason why you should join my Patreon group is because I'm about to set some boundaries with my energy limits. I'm about to get super bougie with my energy, to the point where I'm going to be deactivating my social media pages. Not for good, but for long periods of time. And I have my reasons for this. And actually, I'm going to share, I was about to tell y'all, but nope, I'm being energetically bougie. And I'm going to share with my Patreon group why you should do that sometimes. I think some of you might be like, well, it's common sense to do that. But it has to do with self-value, okay? So I'm going to be getting off of these social media platforms. And I know sometimes people be like, you don't need to announce it. You need to just get off. And I understand that some people might need to just go ahead on and get off. But believe it or not, some people on this app actually have a lot of valuable things to say, like myself. And a lot of people actually change their whole freaking life and change how they think. I'm a change agent. People change their lives based on some of the posts that I make. So yeah, maybe some people don't care when somebody's getting off because maybe they wasn't saying nothing anyway. I'm being a little confident today. There's a natal transit going on that's helping me out too. But anyway, I'll be getting off. I'll be deactivating everything. TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Only places you'll be able to find me is on YouTube, my email list, and my Patreon list. So if you get something out of my content that I make every day, then do yourself a favor and go ahead and sign up for the Patreon group. The lowest one is $10 a month, and you can cancel it anytime you want. All right, let me get back on my horse here. See, I got my hat on, so let me get back on my horse here. Number one was about stop wanting to be and actually just do it. So your first step is for you to actually turn the camera on and start talking. And some of y'all are like, I don't know what to talk about. It doesn't even matter. You keep thinking about you putting all these roadblocks up, and really you just need to start speaking. Be the speaker now. Worry about all that other stuff later. Okay, let me get to number two. Number two, well, I kind of said this already, but I'm going to go into a little bit more detail. That number two is to change your language. Change what you're actually saying. You're going to stay stuck at a wannabe if you do not change your language. Take out words like what you're trying to do. Mars asked me a few months ago when Mars was in my first house, sitting next to Mercury, and Mars asked me, are you doing it or not? Are you trying? Mars carries a sword, and Mars likes for you to cut things up. Cut it up, cut it off, cut it, snip, snip, snip. And so the message was, cut out the word try. So now, every time I catch myself saying, oh, I'm trying to do, nope. Are you doing it or not? So be intentional with your language. Let me see. I think I wrote a few words that you should take out of your vocabulary, or at least be very mindful. The word try, the word want. Stop saying that you want to be something or you want to do something. Want is a word of lack. It means that you think that you already can't have it or that you already cannot do it. So because you already think that you can't have it or you can't do it because of the language that you're using, then the universe is like, oh, okay, well then you can't then. And I'm not going to position you at all for you to even be in alignment with that, because you already are saying that you can't, by you saying that I want. This is why the scripture says, what is it? Psalms 23:1, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. Come on, somebody. I'm taking a sip of water on it because I know I'm preaching over here. By the way, if you don't want to join my Patreon, you can always buy me lunch. A girl get hungry, okay? I be hungry making all these videos. You can go to my bio, scroll down. It says buy me lunch. It's my favorite meal, which is an Indian dish called palak paneer. I love it, love it, love it. It's probably not good for me because it has this certain cheese in it. Okay, I'm going off on a tangent. Anyway, take out the word try. Take out the word want. Take out the words going to. That you're going to do this. Unless you're going to attach it to when, unless you're putting a time stamp on it. As soon as it came out of your mouth, it blew away like the wind. It blew right on away. I had something else written down here, but it was something else that I wanted to say. Hold on. So yes, as soon as you said that, as soon as you said I'm going to, and you didn't put no time frame around it, you didn't say when you were going to do it. It just evaporated. It just evaporated because you're not serious enough. That's the other thing about Saturn. Saturn is all about, are you serious? How do we know that Saturn is really about, are you serious? Because Saturn represents time. So the shit don't even become serious to Saturn until you put a timestamp on that thing. Until you say, okay, I'm going to do blah, blah, blah on this date at this time. That's when Saturn be like, oh, we putting timestamps on stuff. Okay. Now I'm gonna help you create your reality, because you actually gave it structure. A lot of times, this is what I hear, even from my students. The main thing that people say that they lack in their entrepreneurship journey is structure. Structure, the first ingredient of structure. Before you get into, oh, my email list and all of these different softwares that you think that you need, structure is putting a timestamp on it. That's step number one. Before you go sign up for some software, some $90, $100 a month software, do you know how you're going to use it? Do you know how you're going to structure the time? I'm not trying to be funny, but most of y'all probably don't even put a content calendar together. And being transparent, I'm not saying that I'm like the best at putting a content calendar together, but I definitely do it. That's what self-realization of a goddess was. All right, I'm going off on a tangent again. Come back, Kamisha. I have to be very mindful of my own thought processes in the way that I speak, because I definitely go off on I go down different lanes. This is the last thing I'm gonna say about number 2, then I'm gonna go to number 3. The thing about not being precise about what you When you say that you want to be, you're not being precise. When you say that you're trying, you're not being precise. When you say that you're going to, you're not being precise. There's a scripture in the Bible for that. And it says that because you are lukewarm, I'm going to spit you out. It says that I would rather for you to be hot or cold. It's in the book of Revelation. This is a very popular scripture. But it says that I would rather for you to be hot or cold. But because you are lukewarm, I'm spitting you out. It don't even matter. Get it? It don't even matter. It doesn't even matter. It's not showing up as matter because you are lukewarm. You are using lukewarm language. Be hot or cold. Pick a side and stand in it. Stand 10 toes down in it. And don't shrink down to what you said you were doing. Not if I say going to do, to what you said you were doing, you're doing it right now. All right. Number 3 is be friends with silence. Make friends with silence. Why am I saying this? Because I personally believe, nobody has told me this, but I know this from my own, let me speak for myself, out of my own experience. And y'all can tell me whether y'all agree or not in the comments, or whether y'all go through this in the comments. Some of y'all don't like to go live. There I go. I said I was going to talk about me, then I talked about you. There are moments when, well, doesn't happen as much now like it used to. But when I will go live and oh, there's nobody on here. There's only one person. There's only 2 people. Right now, there could be nobody on here. It might not be nobody on here right now. I haven't even checked to look. Right? What I'm saying is that it's the little number that you see up there. And you let that throw you off because it says 0, then 1, then 2, then 0 again. You are psychologically letting that throw you off. Let me bring it back to me again. There has been times when I psychologically let myself get thrown off by looking at that, by thinking that what I was saying wasn't valuable, by thinking that now somebody did say this to me in my inbox, because I've been talking to a lot of people that want to be a speaker. And one of the things that she said was that she has a fear of no one listening. That's usually why people don't like going live, because they have a fear that they're going to be on there talking to themselves. And that's the reason why I said embrace silence, because at the end of the day, you are talking to yourself anyway. That is how manifestation works. Your customers and your clients live inside of you. I say this all the time. I said this at the Command Your Throne conference. I said this on a post like a week ago or something like that, and I'm going to say it again. The truth, when it comes to applying metaphysics to entrepreneurship, the truth is that your clients, your customers, your audience that's hearing you on that stage, they are inside of you. They are not on the other side of that act. Act like it. Act like you know the truth. That's how you get past that fear. I ain't gonna say act like it. Is that the proper word? Whatever. Know the truth. And the truth is that everybody is inside of you. Your customers, your clients, your audience is inside of you. So therefore, even if you do go live and nobody comes on there, it doesn't even matter, because you are doing a manifestation ritual. You are on the stage every time you hit that record button and go live. Every time you make a TikTok or reel or whatever, you're on the stage. I'm on the stage right now. You can't tell me that I'm not. Matter of fact, I'm about me. That's what I'm going to do. Nope. I was about to tell y'all, and I ain't gatekeeping, but what I'm saying is I'm going to tell, I'm being energetically bougie. That's what it is. I'm being energetically bougie, and I'm giving value where value is given to me, which is in my community. Y'all getting value right now. So I'm just saying what I was about to say is, as far as doing a manifestation ritual, by using the damn phone and going live. Just know that. Don't even worry about what I was going to say. It don't matter. Well, it do matter, but it don't matter. Okay. Just know that when you turn that recording button on, you are doing a manifestation ritual, and you need to treat it like that and embrace silence, embrace the concept that you are always talking to yourself anyway. Okay. All right. So that was 1, 2, 3. Do I need to go over them? Nah, let's do it real quick. Number 1 was to stop wanting to be and actually just be, meaning start speaking, start talking. Number 2 is to change your language, chop out certain words that you're using, and to be way more intentional with what you're saying. Stop saying that you want to be. Number 1. And number 3 is to embrace silence, embrace that you're talking to yourself, and be okay with it. That's the first step. Well, it ain't the first step, but you get what I'm saying. Be okay with that you're talking to yourself. Now, going back to my Patreon group. The link is in the bio for that. This is a quick reminder for the people that came to my 3-day traveling speakers workshop. You are going to get 30 days free in there. I'm giving you back what you gave me. I'm always about giving you back. You invested in yourself by coming to that 3-day workshop. Guess what? I'm going to reward you for that. Okay. So how it works is, because our Patreon is set up, hopefully you trust me. I know maybe some new people on here, they're like, girl, I ain't about to pay you and then you give it back to me. Well, that's how I got set up. You can go ahead on and join the Patreon up to the $25 level. Okay. I'm not refunding the $97 level, but up to the $25 level. If you sign up for the Patreon, I'm going to refund you. This is for the people that came to the Traveling Speakers Blueprint. Okay. If you came to the Traveling Speakers Blueprint, you can join any of those levels. Make sure you sign up using the same email that you used when you signed up for the workshop. But I'm going to refund you. As soon as I see it, I'm going to refund you. And I'm checking my phone all day long. So you're going to get the first 30 days for free, which is going to include you getting the public speaking coaching. I'm going to do that next Wednesday. Yeah. Next Wednesday, we're going to do a public speaking coaching session when you get on a live with me. And it's going to be very intimate. I know it's not going to be like a gazillion people on there. So you'll get to ask questions and talk and stuff like that. Okay. All right. I'm getting off here because I know darn well this was more than 15 minutes. I love y'all, and hopefully I'll see y'all in the Patreon. If not, then I'll see you on and off around January. Okay. Bye-bye.